Welcome to the Brisbane Channel, the channel that keeps you in the loop on all things Greater Brisbane. No story is too big, too small, or too absurd. And today I'm here to tell you all about one woman's mission. That woman happens to be Teresa Harding, the Mayor of Ipswich. But this is not a policy mission. It's not a mission for better infrastructure. Ipswich Mayor Teresa Harding has been on a very specific quest for almost a year now to convince Ed Sheeran to come to Ipswich, Queensland. And I want to be clear up front, this is a deliberate, escalating, increasingly ambitious plan that has gone all the way up to the Prime Minister. Some would say this story is about determination, others would say it's more about desperation. Where is the line between being a dedicated fan and taking things a little too far? I'll leave that for you to decide. It started innocently enough back in May last year with letters, emails, and social media posts sent to Ed, his management company, and his record label. The message was simple. You've played in Ipswich in the UK, the area you grew up in. You visited Ipswich in the US.
Ipswich, Massachusetts.
Because Sheeran is from Ipswich in England, and the Old Phone pub is named after his newest song, where the music video will be shot. NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson is live in Ipswich.
There is another Ipswich in Australia. Then things leveled up. Posters calling for Ed to play a gig appeared at his local pub in Ipswich, UK, the Thomas Wolsey, the same place where he once played a surprise show. This was still polite, still restrained, but Ed had not accepted the mayor's invitation. This is when things escalated. Desperate to get his attention, the mayor filmed herself singing Castle on a Hill while riding the Warrior at the Ipswich show. If you're not familiar with the Warrior, it's 55 meters tall, spins at 120 kilometers an hour, and pulls 3.6 Gs. At this point, the mission had momentum. By July, Teresa Harding had started drawing innocent children into her mission. Students were writing personal letters inviting Ed to Ipswich schools. But in September, things took a sinister turn. The mayor showed up in the UK in Ed's local, the Thomas Wolsey pub, to hand deliver her invitation. This is when the lengths she would go to started to become clear. In October, Ipswich unveiled an Ed Sheeran mural in the city centre. It was shared on Ed's official channels with support from Warner Music Australia. And crucially, confirmation came back from the UK that the invitation had reached Ed's team. Not rejected, not ignored, under consideration. This only fired the mayor up even more, and she started pulling more and more people into her mission. Choirs prepared Ed Sheeran songs, artists performed covers at the mural, or should I say, shrine. Students translated one of his songs into the Yagara language. But as the time drew closer to Ed's Brisbane shows over 3 days from the 20th of February, things got really weird. Enter Cardboard Ed, a life-size stand-in started a citywide tour. Was this some kind of 21st century voodoo doll, or just a sign of how out of hand things had become? Cardboard Ed has seen more of Ipswich than most Ipswich locals. Llama farms, hot air balloon rides, sports venues, and somehow the cockpit of an F-35 Lightning II. And this illustrates just how dangerous things had become. This foreign national had somehow been granted access to a military facility so sensitive that we're not even allowed access to the photographs. I am told it did happen, but the details are classified. February was officially renamed Eduary. A special Ed Sheeran went on tap.
Hi, I'm at the famous PA Hotel in Beval, about to try my very first Ed Sheeran. Certainly passes the pub test. Come on down to the PA in Beval, you just never know who you might see.
Even the Prime Minister weighed in, calling for Ed to visit Ipswich.
G'day Ed, Anthony Albanese here, Australia's Prime Minister. You really need to go to Ipswich. Ipswich, Queensland, not Ipswich, UK.
And finally, the Mayor marked Ed's birthday with a cake, and this moment, which some may find disturbing.
Happy birthday to you.
Can there be consent if it's a cardboard cutout? Some questions around the whole thing may never be answered. So will Ed Sheeran actually come to Ipswich? No one knows, but what's undeniable is Mayor Teresa Harding's determination and honestly her sense of humour throughout the whole campaign. Logan Mayor John Raven missed out on getting Tones and I to do a show in Logan. Perhaps the Ipswich Mayor could teach him a thing or two, but we still don't know if the quest will be successful. That's why you should be subscribing to the Brisbane Channel, because I'm here to keep you in the loop on everything from across Greater Brisbane's 5 LGAs, Ipswich, Logan, Brisbane, Moreton Bay and the Redlands. If Ed does show up, you'll hear about it here. And here's the latest weekly update video. If you haven't seen that yet, that should be your next stop. See ya.